Quickly copied this off of her website. So if you've already been to her website and read it, I apologize. But for those who don't know, when Kelly was 8, she told her parents she'd received a message from the spirit of her great-grandfather. And he indicated that her mom was going to get a job she'd applied for 300 miles away in Atlanta, and that they should start looking for a house. It turned out to be an accurate message. And it was also one of the earliest signs that Kelly would eventually go on to become a professional psychic medium. She has over 30 years of experience doing psychic readings, but it was just in 2017 that she received a direct message from Spirit to also begin mediumship to help others connect with loved ones who've crossed over. She and her husband live here in Asheville, and she often travels throughout the United States on her journey of learning, growing, and channeling white light towards a better world. So I'd like to welcome Kelly Palmatier.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm Kelly Palmatier, a full-time professional psychic medium based here in beautiful Asheville. My company name is Channeling White Light because I'm channeling white light towards a better world. I love being able to help others. I love being able to help make the world a better place. And I love being able to donate group mediumship readings for fundraising events for such wonderful causes, such as Arms Around ASD. Woohoo! All right. Now, I do like to just acknowledge, I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to see a psychic or a medium before. But just as with the autism spectrum, there are a lot of different ways that the brain works. I've discovered that as a medium, my brain might work just a little bit differently. And I also like to acknowledge that every psychic, every medium is a little bit different. We're different in the services that we offer, the procedures that we use, just the ways we connect to the energy can vary from person to person as well. In my case, I connect to the energy a few ways. I am an empath, so I do feel the emotions of others. I'm clairvoyant, so I psychically see images. Clairaudient, so I hear messages. Clairalient, so I get psychic smells. Clairsentient, so I physically feel the energy. And also claircognizant, so sometimes I just know things. But like I said, everybody's a little bit different. Now, in my case, I'm both a psychic and a medium. Psychic just means I pick up on information outside of the 5 physical senses, whereas medium means I can use those skills to connect with loved ones who've crossed over. So a little fun fact, every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Not everybody knows that. So, of course, I do offer psychic readings. Those are great for getting insight into the path you're on at the moment and what may be coming up for you in the future. But today we're doing mediumship work. I'm going to be connecting with loved ones who have crossed over. So for me, whenever I'm doing mediumship work, it's a lot like meditating. I'm going to close my eyes, breathe deeply. I have to raise my vibration. Spirit has to lower their vibration. We'll meet somewhere in between, and then I'll pick up on little tidbits, little flashes of information, convey that to you, and hope that it makes sense. Now, you can help keep the energy flowing, keep the vibration high, just by acknowledging. If I say something that makes sense to you, please say yes. I understand. That makes sense because blah, blah, blah. Without giving away too much new additional information, of course. I definitely don't want to know anybody's exact names until or unless I ask for them. Now, on the other hand, if I say something that doesn't particularly resonate with you at the moment, that's okay. We'll just leave it. What I find is a lot of times things will make sense later. But even the very best psychics and mediums aren't going to typically be 100%. They might be 80 to 90%. So we're just going to go with the flow here. And what I find is when I'm doing mediumship work, it turns out that it's kind of like a 3-legged stool. It relies on my energy as a medium. I have to make sure I'm well rested. I don't have to go to the bathroom too bad. I think we're good. All right? It relies on the energy of the spirits. So spirits that are boisterous and the life of the party, when they're in the physical world, they're going to come through more loudly. So the energy of the spirits really matter. And then thirdly, it does depend on the energy of the audience. So have some wine if you want it. We're going to have a good time. Laughter is encouraged. All right? And so if at any point you're particularly amazed or wowed or you think it's a great session, feel free to just yell out, wow, amazing. All right? I welcome it. If you must, you must. Now, on the other hand, if we have any skeptics here in the audience, that's okay. I'm not leaving you out. You can also yell out. No way. Unbelievable. All right, are we good? You got your lines now, right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the process before we get started? I will invite questions after this session is done, questions about how I work and things like that. But for now, I think we're ready to start talking to some dead folks. You guys ready? All right. So please bear with me one moment while I open up the session. I'm opening the door and clearing the way to invite guides or spirits of high vibration or benevolent intent to bring forth positive messages that serve highest good. Thank you. All right, I feel like we're going to start today with a feminine energy. This is a female. It does feel like it's an older generation. So when I talk about older, I mean like older for you. So that would be like a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. These are going to be older generations for you. In this case, I feel like I'm getting pulled a little bit to the side at the same time. So I feel like I want to say we probably have an aunt. We probably have an aunt here who's coming through. But let me see what else I get, and we'll kind of figure out who we've got in just a moment. All right, hang on. I'm getting my symbol for prolonged, so somebody was sick for a while before they passed. This does not have to be for the aunt. This could be for anybody, well, not living. This could be for anybody, someone who was sick for a while before they passed. Bonus points if it's for an aunt. I am getting my symbol for the heart, so I do feel like I want to talk about somebody who had an issue with the heart. Who had an issue with the heart? The heart, they were sick for a while, might be an aunt. Is this, oh, we have anyone? All right. Yes.
Could be.
Could be. Okay, could be. So you understand, you have an aunt in spirit?
I do.
You do have an aunt in spirit. Did your aunt have any issues with the heart?
Yep.
Was the heart issue ongoing for a while? Or did she have some other illness where she was sick for a while?
She died of a heart attack, so.
Okay, so her passing was sudden. Do you?
Yes, but certainly there's something going on with her heart.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it wasn't. No, I wasn't close, so I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll say maybe. You don't know how much issue she may have had preceding. Obviously, we know there's underlying factors, but I don't want to force it either. So, but thank you for speaking up.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on just a moment. I feel like I want to talk about the letter C or a K, a C or a K. A C or a K. So I felt like I wanted to say something like cat. So is there a cat? A Catherine? Yes?
Yeah, Catherine, but I go by Cat.
Okay, so your name is Cat, or Catherine, but you go by Cat. Okay, all right. Thank you for speaking up. All right, and has anything else that I've said made sense to you so far? Anybody with the heart or an aunt?
Not a whole lot of rant, but a friend with breast cancer who suffered for quite a while.
Okay, so the prolonged makes sense for you. Now I do notice that you just mentioned that she had breast cancer, and that's fine. Moving forward, I'll say try not to spill those little details ahead of time, because if I had then said, wait, I'm getting breast cancer, you'd have been like, oh my God, right? But now you've said it first. So I'm like, yep, that's what I'm getting, by the way. And everyone's like, I see how she did that. All right. Okay, so, but I might be with you. Let me see what else I get. Oh, I'm getting a father figure coming through. Have you lost your father?
Many years ago.
Yeah, well, he's still dead.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like I might be, you have a father. Okay. I imagine we have several fathers here. I did feel like I was with Kat for the moment, but we might have some other fathers come through as well. By the way, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about overlay. Overlay is when, hey, we've got a big group here. We've got a gazillion spirits who'd love to say hello, but we've got, you know, a limited time. So what I'm going to say is if I'm bringing through something for Kat, but it resonates with you, please understand that spirits a lot of time will intentionally overlay messages like that so that everybody can hear something that's meaningful to them. So it may be that your father is conveying the same message that Kat's father is conveying. So just keep an ear open. Sometimes things are meant for you, even if I'm turning this way. All right. So I started to say that I feel like I have a father energy for you. Let me see what else I get. All right. I do want to talk about the lungs. Somebody had trouble breathing. Someone had trouble breathing, so this could be a lung cancer. All right. Hang on. All right. I do feel like I've got your father here, Kat. I feel like he is coming through with a lot of love for you. And I feel like he's a bit of a character. And I'm getting a kind of a funky taste in my mouth, which is often the way I'll receive if somebody smoked or drank a lot of coffee or both. Do you understand this? Yeah. Okay. And is that for your father? Did he smoke or drink coffee? Okay, your father's. No, I asked.
It's all right.
It's okay to say a yes or no question. I'll allow that. I'm feeling flexible this time. You can answer. All right. All right. Hang on a moment. All right. I feel like your father is coming through in a way to acknowledge what a special bond you and he had. He has a very special bond with you. Even though he's been gone for a very long time, his bond with you was so strong in the physical world. He wants you to know he absolutely still comes around you. Hang on. He's acknowledging there's something that you have done that is so different from the path that you were on when he was in the physical world. There's something very different. I don't know if you're living in a different town or you're doing a different career, but I feel like we're getting some major significant something that has changed in your life after he has passed. And he wants you to know he's well aware and he is so proud of you. Yeah. Yeah. He says also, thank you for the ways that you continue to think of me. Even after all these years, that bond in your heart is still strong. He recognizes that and says thank you. And he sends his love.
Send mine back.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else I get. All right. I'm going to keep with the C and K theme, apparently, because I feel like I'm getting another name, and it feels like it's the letter C. This might be a Cameron. Is there a Cameron? Okay, so who's Cameron? What's the relationship to you? Your best friend? Did you say that's her last name?
It's her last name.
Okay. Is this the person that you said to me earlier you'd love it if she came through? But you didn't tell me her last name.
No.
Okay. All right. For the record, I had no idea her last name was Cameron. Okay. Well, apparently she heard you. Yeah, that you want her to come through. Hang on. She says, "Of course I love it. Of course I love it." This is the day.
Decorated the room with all the things that she likes.
Yes, that's right. I think you may have mentioned that to me. So she's acknowledging what a great job that you did on the room. She's saying, I wouldn't have expected anything less from you, because that's just the way you roll. Yeah, but she says thank you because as you were doing these wonderful things, little plants and fairy lights, you were thinking of her, like giving her credit for it when she says you totally would have done something wonderful too. So, but yeah, nice. All right, I'll see if I get anything else from her. Hang on. All right, I am getting my symbol for a passing that's more sudden. Was her passing sudden? Yes? Okay. All right. So she's just bringing that through as a confirmation that it really is her. I feel like I'm getting something that's more full body. So I don't know if this is like an impact, or did somebody have an illness that was a full body thing? So you're saying yes for Cameron? Or I guess I should say Ms. Cameron. That was the last name, yes. So Ms. Cameron had something that was full body. Okay. All right. She's acknowledging also a younger energy. So would this be a child for you, or tell me what this younger, there's a younger energy looking up that she's acknowledging.
Can be a lot of things.
Can be a lot of things, okay.
She's very young, even though she's 77. She taught my daughter. She taught me when I was young.
Yeah, okay. All right. I feel like this is your daughter. She's wanting to send her love to your daughter as well. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to acknowledge I'm feeling this wave of heat here. And I know we've got a lot of bodies in here, so maybe it's just, or, you know, maybe, and I got a sweater on. But I will say that in the past, I've had sort of a wave of heat come over me when somebody has experienced a fire. A house fire does not need to be how somebody passed, but did somebody experience a fire? Yes, tell me. Oh, we've got 3, 4. Okay. Burning down the house. All right. So just, we've got 4 of us. Just give me like a sentence or two about what happened. What is this?
Our whole house burned down, and
Oh.
we lost our pet and everything, but the people survived, and that was a long time ago.
Okay.
And
All
then my
right.
son also had a fire, so we laughed at it somehow. We're being haunted
Yeah.
by
Wow.
fire.
Okay. All right.
There's
And
not been any human life.
being haunted by fire, now the spirits are talking about it, right? Okay. All right. So I'm sorry for that. And I might be with you. Let's go ahead and talk. What happened with the other fires?
It was a toaster fire. It demarcated, like, before and after.
Yeah. Okay. A mark in your life.
Nobody died.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's 2. Yes, ma'am?
It started in the kitchen, and I was really young, so I think it burned down pretty much the whole inside of the house.
Wow. Okay.
It was from like construction workers, and my mom like turned on the stove,
Okay.
and then that's how it ignited.
Okay. All right.
Nobody died.
Good. Love to hear that. And then one more here?
My mom and her new husband had a fire in their kitchen.
Okay.
It was the first fire we ever had in our house.
Okay. And everybody's fine.
Everyone was fine.
And I see another hand going up here.
My grandmother's house caught on fire when I was a child, but I remember it was Sunday and it impacted. There was a big impact throughout the whole family because of it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So we've got numerous people. No wonder I was feeling so darn hot up here. Numerous people that the fire makes sense for. I'm going to bring up again that overlay message that sometimes they'll bring something through that makes sense for multiple people. But all right. This last one. You said this was a grandparent. Are one of these grandparents in spirit now? I feel like I'm getting a lot of love around that. Is it the grandmother? Okay. I feel like I'm coming back to you, though. But the grandmother, I feel like the grandmother wants to absolutely take this opportunity. Is this on your mother's side of the family? Yes, okay. I just want to say she feels like such a gentle soul. You're not so sure about that, huh?
She was gentle with me.
Gentle with you. Oh, you're the favorite. Okay. Well, she's being gentle with you again. And she's being gentle with me. Apparently, I'm not too bad either, so I'll take it. But yeah, she's got a lot of love for you. Hang on, let me see what... I want to talk about gardening. Was this your grandmother who liked to garden? We don't want to force it, because we got plenty of gardening grandmothers here, I'm sure of it.
I'm trying, no.
Okay, all right. All right, well then I may or may not still be with her, but I do feel that there's a lot of love coming for you. But I also feel like I really need to get back to this double fire and being haunted by it. We'll just see if I'm just going to tune in around that, see if I get anything. So bear with me one moment. All right. I will just say, when you mentioned that you lost a pet, I immediately felt like, yes, I need to talk about that. I feel like I want to talk about that. I'm not sure if I'm getting the details for this pet, though, or I might be kind of getting an overlay thing. But I'll just say, regardless of whether or not this is yours, I want to talk about a dog. There's a dog coming through, and yours was a dog. I could see you kind of smile, nod, the little eyes light up. Okay, so it is a dog, so that's a good start. And then I feel like I want to talk about, there's a name here. It's a 2-syllable name, and it feel like it might even end with the letter Y or that E sound, gypsy or something like that. You're nodding, so your dog had a 2-syllable name that ended in the letter Y or the E?
Lily.
Lily, okay. All right, Lily. All right, good. So she wants you to know it's like you feel, you and your family, just like the guilt, the grief, tremendous, right? Around Lily. She is not taking responsibility for the fire, right? But she acknowledges that she ran and hid. Yeah. And that's why she didn't make it, because you couldn't find her. Right?
Yeah.
And she wants you to know she's fine. She's good. She says, she ran and hid because in the scary moment, that was her peace. That was her comfort. So when this fire was happening, she was feeling her peace and comfort because she was in a little hiding spot. Then she crossed over. So she went from peace and comfort to peace and joy. Okay? She says she absolutely felt so much love in your family. She knew how much she was loved. She also talks about coming around. I don't know if you've heard a little footsteps. Did you hear little footsteps?
No, but one of our dogs barks at something.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. She's sending her love. All right. Was that enough? Should we stop here? You guys want more? Everybody good? We're doing all right? Just checking in. Yes, ma'am.
I have an Aunt Kathy.
You have an Aunt Kathy.
Speak up.
Oh, because it's a little overwhelming sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for speaking up now. Yeah. So it might just be that Aunt Kathy wants to say hello and she sends her love, but I'll see what else I get and if I'm still with an Aunt Kathy or not. So hang on a moment. All right. I'm getting hair that is, it's got some wave to it. You don't? Okay. All right. So let's see what else I get. Hang on. All right. I want to talk about somebody was intubated or had something going on with the esophagus. I'm seeing a couple of takers on this one. Okay. So does that have anything to do with Aunt Kathy? Okay, so your emotion was just about Aunt Kathy. Okay.
They're still alive.
They're still alive. That's okay. All right. Thank you. So somebody's had something going on with this. Can you tell me what the relationship to you is of this?
My husband,
Your
surgical error, they cut his esophagus.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But he's still with us. Good, good. Okay. So I will say sometimes Spirit will come through and acknowledge what they see, what's going on with us in the physical world. His parents are in spirit. Is that correct? Your father's. I feel like they were.
My husband's parents.
Yeah, your husband's parents were already in spirit when he had this go on.
Yes.
They're saying that it could have been, like it was terrible, right?
Yeah,
it was really terrible.
Close, yeah.
But it could have been worse.
Yeah, yeah.
They're saying that they were there, that they helped protect him from that. Yeah. I want to talk about Amber. Amber. Is this, I don't know if this is somebody's name. I mean, obviously it is somebody's name, but I don't know if there's a spirit. I hear you, I see a hand go up here. Yes.
Family friend named Amber, she just lost her husband.
Oh. Oh, okay. A family friend named Amber, and her husband passed this week. Okay. All right. She is devastated right now. The husband, says, I'm okay, baby. I'm okay, baby. I don't know if he always called her baby, but that's how I'm hearing it. Hang on. Was he a big guy? Because I'm getting like a solid build. So, okay. So.
He actually died, but he was very frail.
Okay. Okay, very frail. So before he was sick, did he have like a solid build, like a medium? He was always very slim? All right, so I might be seeing somebody else. Hang on a moment. All right, I'm getting the letter J. The letter J, I feel like I want to say something like Jason. Somebody have a J name?
I'm Jason.
Oh, you are a Jason? Well, hello over there. Yes. Join the party, why don't you? Yes. All right.
My dad was Jim Jackson.
Yeah, and your dad was Jim Jackson, so the J name makes sense there as well. Nice to meet you, Jason. I'm not sure why I called your name out, but maybe because you didn't have a very good view back behind that corner. I just make sure everybody's having a good time here. All right, let me see what I get. All right, hang on just a moment. I'm getting a masculine energy of an older generation. This is going to be either a father, grandfather, something like that. I feel like I'm getting the letter W. It might be a William. You have a father who's a William? Mm-hmm. Okay, you have a father who's a William. Jason, just hang out. Have a good time. Yeah, we might talk later. Yeah. All right. Now, I know you. We've had a few sessions together.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've ever channeled your dad before. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So I probably even knew his name, so it's slightly less evidential, but I feel like...
I never knew his name.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me credit there. All right, I'll just see if I get something from your dad. All right, so I'm getting the passage of time here. It feels like he's been gone for a while. Is that correct? Yeah. And then I feel, I am feeling something with the heart right now. I don't know if that's for him. No. Getting the heart. I'm going to set that aside for a moment.
Intubated too, though.
Oh, so gotcha, the throat. I feel like I want to acknowledge conflict in the family.
Yes.
He is wanting to acknowledge your consistency, that you understand how to be the type of person that you think you should be, set up the boundaries that you need to set up, and live with integrity. He wants to say, well done. All right? Yeah, very proud and a lot of love coming through here. I feel like you and your dad have a lot of differences. You definitely have some similarities, but I definitely need to acknowledge you've got some differences. But he's happy to be there for you in spirit. Yeah. All right, I'm getting a pain in the head. The way I'm receiving it, it's more on the right side of my head, which is not actually a standard symbol for me. Left side it is, right side is not. So I'm just kind of winging it here. Somebody had something going on with the head. I'm not sure what. Could be a overall, like somebody dealt with headaches or swelling in the brain cancer. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I've got other ways that the head makes sense, but those aren't coming through just yet. So let me see what else I get.
Are you moving on from me? Because my sister had 4 tumors in the right side of her brain.
Oh, well, hello. Okay, thank you for speaking up. Yes, your sister had 4 tumors in the right side of her brain, and I'm talking about possibly brain cancer, and it's on the right side of my head. I think I'm with you still.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'm seeing flowers or foliage, and I feel like this is relevant somehow. I don't know if somebody has a name that's named after a plant or named after a flower. Yes.
My aunt had brain cancer, and she was named after a flower.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Your aunt had brain cancer and she was named after a flower. So this again is overlay. I feel like I do want to acknowledge that your sister is here and sends her love.
Oh, there's a cherry tree in my yard.
Cherry tree.
Just
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, it just bloomed. And oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, so she's definitely around you. But I've channeled spirits for you in the past.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like
no.
no, your family's like, no, we're good. If Kelly has a pause, I'm going to fill in something. So there's no awkward pauses here. Okay. All right. I'm going to set this up there. You can give that to me later. All right. So you have an aunt named after a flower who had brain cancer. And I did see another hand go up.
We have a friend who just died like a week ago, and his daughter's name is Tulsi, which is a plant.
Okay. All right.
Is it a recent death? Or?
I don't know yet, but thank you for sharing that. Yes.
I have a brother also who died of brain cancer.
A brother who died of brain cancer not too long ago. Okay. All right, so we're definitely getting this overlay. I feel like your loved ones want you to know that they're here with you, even if I'm not standing right in front of you and saying this, and this about your family, okay? I feel like of everything that we've just said, I feel like I'm drawn to Michelle's aunt. So I'm going to go there first. So let me just see what else I get. Hang on a moment. Okay. This is kind of random, but I feel like I'm getting a Leonard Skinner song is coming through, you guys, okay? Free Bird. All right? Yeah. Oh, I've got a gasp going on here. Yes? Okay, so tell me about Free Bird. Why does Free Bird make you gasp?
An old friend died, and they stood up a charity, and that's what's played on his YouTube. It was his favorite song.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. A friend of yours.
Identified with that song.
Identified with that song.
Time, yeah.
Beautiful. Good.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to sing for you guys. Woo! All right. I feel like this is another overlay message, free as a bird, because the lyrics in that song, I'm as free as a bird now. This makes sense for you as well?
Yeah, yes, the person who died was a singer, and he, yeah.
He would not have liked it if I sang for you.
And he's liberated. He's one of those people that is freed from his, so, and he wrote a song.
Yeah,
Or
that's
something
right.
like that, we
I
can't
remember the
remember.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so yeah, definitely some overlay messages, because this isn't just like, yes, there's a mother and she loves you. This is tangible stuff, so I'm glad. Yeah, so he wrote a song about being free, about being liberated, something like that. Nice, beautiful. Yes.
It just came back to me when you said about aunt with a K name.
Yes.
So she was quite young when she died, but she did have a congenital heart disease. And
Ah.
her name started with K.
Her name started with a K. Okay. All right. Nice. And was her name 2 syllables?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a unique name?
Not especially.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I'm getting that, though. It's not Kelsey, is it? Go ahead and tell me her name.
Karen.
Karen. Okay. I'm clearly getting the heart again as we're speaking, though. So I will say I feel like this very well may be Karen. There were others in the family. I'm getting some. There's a reference to others in the family, and I feel like these may be young people. Are there multiple cousins?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, and then I feel like I just want to acknowledge that she watches over the whole family, including all these many people, and continues to pop in even years later. It's funny because I feel like in the physical world, she was more like light and fun, and yet now that she's in spirit, she's like, I'm the angel, I'm the wise one. She's kind of funny. So you understand that? Okay. All right. She says she's got a lot of affection for you, by the way. She's got a lot of affection. I feel like she's, I can't quite put my finger on it. There's like a nickname, but she's like, it's not, oh, I wish I could come up with a good nickname. Like, thanks, sweetie, for bringing it up or for acknowledging me, but it's something like cooler than sweetie. You know? Do you know, are you aware of a nickname she's got for you?
Well, I was rather young when she died, so my mother would probably know. But
okay.
I believe she did have a nickname for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. And so when she talks about watching over the whole family, she says, and absolutely give my love to your mother. Yeah. All right. I didn't quite finish before. Your aunt wants that free as a bird, right? Because I was getting the Lynyrd Skynyrd right after her, wants you to know that she's good. She's like free as a bird. Yeah. I also feel like there's another bird reference. I don't know if I'm still with you, but somebody really liked to watch the birds. Maybe they have a bird feeder. I'm not sure if I'm with you though, Michelle. But I feel like I'm getting a bird feeder. Somebody's watching the birds, feeding the birds. Hang on a moment. Okay. All right. It's a kind of a standard one, but I feel like I'm supposed to say it. A cardinal.
My grandmother.
Okay, so your grandmother.
Somebody else, I don't want to hog everything.
Okay, so yes, and you've got a cardinal reference?
Yeah, and the bird feeder.
And the bird feeder. Okay, and how does that make sense?
It's that same ant. We have a tree with a bird feeder.
Ah.
We put messages in it.
Oh, you have a tree with a bird feeder, you put messages in it. Oh, that's beautiful.
And we watch the birds there.
Oh, super. I'm so glad that makes sense. Good. Yes. All right. All right, see what else we get. All right, I'm getting pulled again, feminine up to the side. So I feel like we might have another aunt that we're talking to. Hang on a moment. Okay, somebody loves the beach. I feel like this is a beach vacation. Here we come, road trip. Somebody take a trip to the beach with an aunt. Oh, yes? Hello? Is it the same aunt? Oh, beautiful. Okay. Well, she just really wants you to know she's here for you. Yeah. There's somebody else in the family that needs to hear that she came through. You've got somebody else in your family who's grieving particularly strongly. Is this correct? You understand that? The person that this person that's grieving particularly heavily, they're a bit of a skeptic, aren't they? Yeah? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's why it's like, nope, we're not done. We haven't had enough evidence yet. Let's keep going. All right. Is it a male, the person that's?
Yeah.
Okay. But there's also a male that's grieving, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I feel like I want to talk about a book. I feel like I'm seeing like a book cover closing. So I don't know if somebody has used the analogy of like, well, that chapter's over. Or this might be a book that has a special memory associated with it. It could be a Bible. So you're not recognizing the book. All right, so we might be moving on. Somebody else have a special memory about a book? Maybe someone has given them a book, written a special message in it? All right. 20 minutes from now, come up to me afterwards and you just say, the book, oh! All right, we're good. Yes?
I had given someone who passed a book,
Ah.
wrote a message, and I think about like if I'll ever find that book out there. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So you have a special book memory related to someone who passed. Okay. Yes?
I have my grandmother's Bible.
Ah.
And it's the same grandmother.
Okay.
We also went to the beach with my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt.
Okay.
But the day that her house burned,
Yes.
we went to my great grandmother's house, and she was the garden, like she gardened up and.
That's the gardener. Okay. All right. Good, good.
But my
Thank you.
grandmother slept with her Bible under her pillow.
Aw.
And the features wrapped in red, like for the blood of Jesus.
Okay. So this is very special. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that makes sense. Thank you for speaking up. Yeah, so many things coming through with her. Wonderful. Good. All right. I'm not sure if I've got more about the book here or not, but thank you for speaking up. I'll just see what else I get now. All right. I've got a masculine energy of an older generation. I feel like I want to say something like James. Yes?
My dad.
Your dad is named James.
Jackson, but he went by Jim sometimes after he went by Jimmy when he was a little kid.
Okay. All right. So earlier when I talked about the J name, and you're like, I do have a J name, but I hadn't said James at that point. So your father is named.
His official name is James.
His official name is James. Okay, perfect. Good, good. Thank you. All right. I want to talk about I'm getting my symbol for somebody who smoked a cigar or a pipe. Someone else in the family? Okay. Somebody smokes a cigar or a pipe.
Well, he actually was totally against smoking so much that he never smoked even a puff of anything in his life. And he actually went to the doctor, and the doctor told him to stop smoking, but he had a lot of smoke in his lungs because of secondhand smoke.
Okay.
He played master bridge, and he just always had smoke there.
Okay. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So I will just say, like, it's kind of crazy, but I get a little kind of a fuzzy taste in my mouth for somebody who smokes or drinks coffee or both. But it's more like on the tip of my tongue that I'll feel it if it's a different type of smoking. So that's why I say cigars or pipes. But I'm going to say if he was told that he had like issues in his lungs from smoke and he didn't smoke, that's definitely a different type of smoking. So I'm going to say I might still be with you. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Let me see what else I get. Hang on. I just want to talk about a plaid shirt. Did he always wear plaid?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Color shirt.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Good. He has your son.
He has my son.
He has your son.
He's with my son.
He's with your son.
I know. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, you and I spoke beforehand. I just want to be transparent here. You and I spoke beforehand, and I found out that you have a son in spirit. And the only other thing you told me, he was older than 13, and at one point you guys had taken a trip to, was it Portugal?
Brazil.
Brazil, okay. That's the extent of anything that I knew about you. But I just feel like I like to put that out there because, you know, people talk about how some con artists pretend and blah, blah, blah. So I just want to acknowledge that that's what I knew. But your father, James, with the plaid shirt and the smoke, that he's acknowledging that he's got your son with him. I have to say, I feel like your son and your father, they're well bonded, but they're very different. Their personalities are very different.
Actually, it's kind of oxymoron because there's so much alike, yet for certain reasons they're very different.
Okay.
My father was very straight-laced and those adventures. My son did a lot of things.
Okay. All right. So they had some ways where they were very similar,
Yes.
but then those parts where they diverged was very pronounced.
Yes.
Okay. So for me to bring up the differences between them is relevant to you. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I thought maybe we'd get away without me singing today, but I just have to say, whoa, Black Betty, bam, balam.
My sister.
Okay. All right.
That's my sister, Karen.
Your sister. Okay. So you just gave me her name.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So her name is Karen. I would have thought it was Betty. So I don't know. Why does that song make sense?
She sang it so much it drove me crazy. Every time I hear it, it's just like her energy.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Good, good. I'm so glad. My singing was not wasted. Good. All right. Your sister, I'm getting this closeness. She's definitely coming through with a lot of love for you. I feel like when your sister passed, you had the way the grief hit you was like, I'm alone. I feel like there was something about the way you reacted when she passed, where you felt, I don't know if now, like that was the only person left in your family of origin, like were both parents already gone? So that's not the case. But is there something else that was going on, like when she...
I couldn't help her. She came to me when she was passing, and
I didn't know it.
Okay.
But I knew she was desperate. I was trying to take her somewhere where she could come back somehow. She didn't intend to die on some level. But she needed help. And so I went into meditation and I took her to a place, a safe place.
Okay.
And that's, the feeling of alone.
Okay.
Because it was like the overwhelming feeling of loss.
Yeah. Yeah. So you understand that when I talk about being alone.
That's what
Because
it
you
is.
felt that. Okay, thank you for explaining that. I'm getting my symbol for responsibility. Someone's taking some responsibility, so their actions may have contributed in some way to their passing. Does that make sense for her?
Yeah, she did a lot of things that were real risky all through.
Okay. All right. Hang on a moment. All right. She's agreeing with you. But then she says, but no regrets. No regrets. So I just feel like, I don't know if she was a bit of a character.
That's an understatement. She was crazy.
She was crazy. Okay. All right. So for me to make a big deal about no regrets, you understand that. She definitely wants you to know she's doing well in spirit. Yeah. And she says thank you. Hang on. She's confirming that she felt you. She felt your energy when you did that, when she was transitioning. She also says that she came back afterwards, after she was in spirit, and gave you a sign. Yeah. So she's confirming that for you. You believed it, though. You didn't need someone to confirm it.
No, she was there.
She was there.
Smell her.
Yes.
Feel her.
Yeah, it was obvious. She's just bringing that up as another validation that she's here still, that she still comes around you. I want to talk about a cat. Do you have cats now?
I lost a cat.
You lost a cat. Okay, thank you. All right. I might be with your cat. Hang on, I'll see what else I get. All right. I'm not sure if I'm with your cat or this might be somebody else, but I felt like I was seeing a dark face and maybe lighter around. I see you nodding. Did I just describe your cat? Oh, good. Beautiful. And I will say, I feel like I want to, and this is terribly generic, but I still feel like I want to say Miss Kitty.
Oh, no.
Okay. So the cat that you lost, that was a male? Okay. Did somebody else have a cat and they called the cat Miss Kitty? Going once? Going twice? All right. We'll just leave that there. All right, I'm seeing emotion. I feel like this is your cat. I'm seeing emotion. It's like, you know how cats will, when they're showing affection, and then they'll nudge their head on you, right? So I'm seeing that. And then it kind of goes into and now I'm rolling over on my back. So it's like kind of almost like a fluid motion, like here I rub and now I roll. Is that something your cat would do? Yeah? All right. All right. He wants to say he's still connected to you soul to soul. He says that he absolutely will be there to greet you when it's your time years from now. Okay. All right, we've got a few minutes left and then I'm going to turn it over to questions. Gosh, time flies. All right, so I want the big finish here. So, and if there's some spirit that you're really hoping will come through, that it's really important that they come through and they haven't come through yet, just put your attention on that in your mind and I'll just see what I get. I can't get to everybody, of course, but I'll see what I get. All right, hang on just a moment. I want to talk about Tony. Tony, who's Tony? Yes, tell me about Tony.
My first husband.
Your first husband. Okay, he's in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, all right. He's got a bit of sense of humor to him, doesn't he? Maybe. He thinks he's funny. I don't know. I feel like he's making some joke about, you didn't think that'd come through, did you?
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, you didn't want him to come through?
I didn't think about him.
All right, so surprise.
I'm glad he did that.
Okay. All right, here's something terribly random. Gosh, I hope this makes sense. I want to talk about ketchup. Yep, ketchup. We're going to talk about ketchup now. Somebody loves ketchup. Somebody hates ketchup. There's something, somebody put ketchup on everything, yes? Hated.
Just had this conversation with my friend yesterday.
Okay, you're the ketchup hater? And you just were talking with a friend about this yesterday, about how much you hate ketchup. All right, thank you. Thank you. Yes?
My father, after he came back from Vietnam, put ketchup on everything.
Ah.
A friend of the family made from scratch sauce, spaghetti.
Oh.
Ketchup on it, and he got himself beat.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, funny memory about ketchup. Good, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Yes. Roger. Roger. Somebody have an R name? Might be Roger. It could be a Robert. What's your father's name? The one who came back, the ketchup guy.
Wayne Scott.
Wayne Scott. Does he have a buddy in spirit named Roger?
Could be. I was very young when he passed.
Okay. All right. Because I feel like this might be someone from the service. Okay. All right. Hang on. Your father wants you to know he has watched over you all these years. He wants you to know he loves you to pieces. He says, you're a, I don't know if your father used some colorful language, but I feel like your father is saying that you're a tough SOB. And yet, he always will see you as his little fairy princess. Yeah. All right. He's sending his love. All right, folks, that is an hour of channeling, folks. I'm just going to close the session out for channeling, and then I'll open it up to questions for a few more minutes. All right, so bear with me one moment, please. Thank you all for coming through today. I'm ending the session, closing the door, with love and gratitude. Thank you. All right. All right, who's got questions? Questions about what I do, how I do it? Yes?
Obviously, you're very in tune. Is there a way for people that don't have that gift to, like, loosen up and maybe, whatever?
Yes. Yes, there absolutely is. Yes, I can. I was not born a medium, as far as I know. I never identified as a medium. I know that great introduction from Michelle talked about that experience I had when I was 8, but that was an anomaly. I did not normally go through my childhood channeling spirits. But I did have little psychic things happen, and I was very interested in it. And so all throughout high school and college, I studied. I got books from the library, I read, I practiced, I tried things out. When I was in college, I studied parapsychology at the University of Kent at Canterbury in England. And I mentored under professional psychic Joe Wynn in England. So I worked at it, I studied, I tried, I experimented. Then I did readings off and on for 30-something years. And then it was just in 2017, I was sitting at the base of a waterfall, meditating and talking to my loved ones who crossed over and asking for guidance. And I got a direct message from Spirit telling me to become a medium. So I was like, okay, how shall I do this? And I got a direct message. The answer just popped into my head. Read books, spend time in meditation, connect with other psychics and mediums. So I started doing all of that right away. By the end of the month, I was channeling. So I will say I was not very good at it back then, but I got enough hits that people were like, yeah, actually, orange was my mom's favorite color. You know, little things like that. It was finally like a few months later, I started, one day I was doing a reading and I was like, is there a Ray or a Roy? And everybody in the room gasped. His name was Roy Ray. I was like, holy wow, I'm doing this. This is real. So I can definitely attest to the fact that you can learn these skills. Now, if you just want to connect with your own loved ones, then a great thing to do is take a trip down memory lane, look at the photo albums, talk about your loved ones, think about them, and then meditation. Meditation. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, think about your loved ones, and listen what pops into your head. I will say a lot of times it just feels like imagination. And if I didn't have an audience saying, yes, as a matter of fact, let me tell you about the multiple fires, you know, or things like that, then it would be just like, here, Kelly is just talking about weird things that pop into her head, right? So getting that validation helps. But when you're channeling your own spirits, sometimes it'll come through and you'll be like, well, I know that's what my mother would have said, so of course that's why I'm thinking that. That doesn't mean it's not your mother. All right, good question. Yes?
So, I had similar things, you know, growing up, where I would see things and say things and then they would happen. But I was a child and they just, you know,
yeah,
kind of brushed it off. Over the years, I had spirits talk to me, even unborn babies.
Yeah.
Say, here we come.
Nice.
It's been wonderful, but I don't depend on it, and it surprises when it happens. I don't know how it happens. But the one person who really knew that I could do this was my dad. And I'm like waiting for it's like 3 years. Where are you, buddy? You know, like, you know, we had an agreement, like you were gonna. And he kept, and out of everyone, people I don't know come to me, and then I wind up sharing a story with somebody who it means something to them.
Yeah.
But out of all of them, and I don't, he has been like,
yep, I get it.
A lot.
So what I find is that when it's a family member that you're close to, a lot of times they're there.
Oh, I feel
but,
it.
Okay. But sometimes their energy is so similar, or you're so used to having them there, that it's almost hard to perceive it, because it's almost like it's a part of you. So a lot of times they're there and they're telling you things and you're just like, well, this is just the way I am. You know? Yeah. I actually do offer psychic development mentorship. So that's something that's one of the main level services on my website if anybody's interested. My website is channelingwhitelight.com. So you can go there to book appointments, individual appointments or group readings for psychic readings, mediumship readings, psychic development mentorship, group readings, etc. channelingwhitelight.com. You can also learn all about my services, my sliding scale rates, and read my reviews and watch video excerpts of my actual readings. All right, one last question? Yes?
So if you were like when you're younger and you perceive all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you're discouraged from pursuing it.
Right.
I come from a
Sure.
superstitious culture.
Okay,
which
gotcha.
My grandmother would always tell us, you're interfering,
Right.
ignore it.
Uh-huh.
But for years after my aunt died, I could hear her calling my name.
Yeah.
And you know, in my family, I tell my friends all the time that the ghosts in my family follow the babies and they protect them, which
Okay.
has happened to several of our children. Yeah. So if you, after you've ignored it for this long, like, is it possible to redevelop that skill?
Yes.
Okay.
That was an easy question. Easy answer, yes. It's easy. It's, you know, you have to be open. You have to make a point. And then there are lots of steps that you can take. Definitely meditation, that's the easiest one. There are tons of, you know, you don't have to come to me for a mentorship. You can go on the internet, how to increase your psychic skills. Remember that your psychic skills, that's just picking up on information outside of the 5 physical senses. Mediumship is you're learning how to interpret these psychic input as messages from loved ones. So you can just go out there and Google, you know, how to increase your psychic abilities. But yeah, absolutely. People have it ebb and flow all throughout their lives. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm Kelly Palmatier. Thank you so much. Thank you.